before and while we're doing classes.
Let me see what we're doing. See. Oh, please on the said world fairs. Please, okay, habits for life. Please speak on the, and it has in parentheses said world fairs in the early 18th century, Chicago and Buffalo, etc.
Oh, with the takeover of the trade routes, or what you call the old trading triangle?
World fairs, like they had 18.
Oh, that's why it's there. That's why they have it, because that was one of our main. Because remember, metrologically, Chicago is known as Mecca of the West, and that was one of our major trading ports, etc. When we still had control of our trade routes here at the Maghreb. And so, pointedly, even to this day, most of your world trade, etc., although you have one of your largest ports at Long Beach, Khalifa, or California, that Chicago is one of your major trade routes there, Boston, Philadelphia, etc., in the Trenton area. This is why you have so much of the operations of the conversion of the estates of the Moors taking place with so-called George Washington, so-called crossing the Delaware, the Trenton, etc. So those are that ancient trade route. If that's what you're making reference to, and of course it's important from the Germanic tribes' position of the 1800s for them to have taken over those trade routes and understand. This is why in around from 1854 to 1863, the later part or the second half of the 1800s, when the last vestiges of the powers of the Moors at the Maghreb were manifest, why so much was done, particularly around 1863 to 1868, for them to writing out Moorish history from the school books, etc. So the takeover, or you might call the close to the last vestige of Moorish powers in the in the West, or what you call Egypt of the West, was successfully executed by the Ivory. And this has much to do, again, why much of that information about the trade route takeover is not taught in history book, and also what the reconstruction of operations of the takeover place at North America, and then Iberia fell. So people need to know that we fell here actually at America first before Europe fell. Most people think it's in reverse. It isn't. We fell first here, if that's what you're making reference to.
World fairs were those.
World fairs displaying Egypt of the West in your face, architecturally and far as the noble points are, because all of the important buildings were always placed at noble points, energy points, which are also known as ley lines. Those are deliberate placements. And it's also what you would call open, kind of like open museums.
That's what the fairs were.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like that. Or like showing in many ways both the conquest, symbols of conquest, and also exposures of back engineered technologies. All of those things included, and then done in a format of and for entertainment, to also display it and also show and veil it at the same time.
Didn't they have like human zoos?
Of course they did.
looking.
Say it again.
No, I was just looking to see if they're it's a question to ask if we should stay away from people who have had the hokey pokey.
Put it this way: do a little research, because it is stated by doctors, particularly in Italy. So do some research in Europe and see what some of those doctors are saying, and also why some of the people or some of the governmental operatives pardon me, Italy, are now opening up and no longer doing the block the air thing and all the other stuff, because the people who have been taking the devil's serum are incubators and contaminate people who have not. I mean, they're actually being planted with nanobots. And we don't need to tell you, they are starting to tell you themselves, but you won't get that information on this side through the mainstream news. They're not going to go there because they're still executing their genocide operations at the Maghreb. Not that they're not exercising them elsewhere, but remember, most of the demonology has been nurtured here at North America and exported to the rest of the world. That's why the military operations of the UN has its what you call operative enforcement coming from or through the United States Democracy Corporation platform, which these operatives have been pretending to be a country when it's not. It's a private conglomeration of corporate alliances under the Treaty of Verona for world conquest via unum sanctum and the doctrine of discovery. However, their devil serum is being rejected in Europe now. So go do some research about what the politics that's going on in Italy and Portugal, the port of the Gauls. They'll tell you a lot and answer that question on other levels that they won't hear.
Questions: can the elder break down the maritime admiral, I guess I mean admiralty laws?
Well, you already know the operation is that law is land, air, and water. And the deal of it is, when you're talking about land jurisdiction, you're talking about what is known as the common law and the principles of the ancient ones that's adopted for jurisdictional and jurisprudence operations, actually all over the planet in general with most nations. And in order for the Germanic tribes to exercise their piracy, they bring admiralty law or the law of the seas on the land to also imply SEA as well as SEE, claims made by the Pope under the straw. And so the admiralty jurisdiction, which all of the members of the bar are trained in, is not so much bad in its own right, but is a misrepresentation when they come on the land to claim the estates of people. And so when people are dealing in the courts jurisdictions of the chancery, there's an assumption that they're executing for protections of their rights of beings and property, that their rights and liberties are being secured when in fact it is not true. So it's not to condemn admiralty and maritime law, is to make people aware of the fact that it has been artificially and in violation of treaties and constitution brought upon the land in order to steal people's estates, etc. And so the distinctions of the different jurisdictions must be known to the people so that you can make discernment in relationship to any controversies between Roman Curia members who are known as the U.S., etc., distinguished from true nation states and Aboriginal indigenous people who have been constantly robbed by them through the Pharisees and Sadducees of the British accredited registry known as the Bar Association, which has been going on. So this is again why people who kind of understand jurisdiction and law will also teach methodologies by which people will do writs or what you call quo warrantos, etc., and change the venues of the corporate state courts back into the common law venues and deal with diversity of nationality in order to enforce the common law or constitutional law, which secures the rights of persons and property in all countries, to which the United States might be a party. So you're making what you call jurisdictional distinctions. And also rejecting by averment whenever they're pulling you artificially into an admiralty jurisdiction while not claiming that is so.
Here again.
And keep in mind, this is why, for those of you in questions like that, the admiralty maritime jurisdiction versus land jurisdiction, this is why, if you really comprehend what's going on, that all persons operating in the corporate state governments and the local municipalities are in fact committing treason against the people and have been doing so for quite some time, knowingly. So don't think it's just a matter of misunderstanding, misunderstanding, miscomprehension on the part of politicians. It has not been, and it is not. You have organized traders who have been operating knowingly since 1861, and particularly affirmed with the Organic Act of Congress, February 2nd, 1871, who have been operatively committing and maintaining and constructing legislation, color of law, color of office, color of authority operations with colored legislation against the people, which is why many of our people are broke economically now, and why they muddy the water when discussions of the distinction between dogmatic and theft-oriented credits and currencies are presented in argument and trade distinguished from money, i.e. Yakam coin. Therefore, a bit of abstract can never be a coin. They're already telling you that they're lying. And as of a day or two ago, you've been robbed again via that platform. Doesn't mean that it hasn't been used. It doesn't mean that it's not being introduced in a transitory form. It is. However, know that it's not money.
Get towards the end. I'm still trying. Oh, get that channel up.
Say again?
Trying to get that up to the 1,000.
Oh yes. Yes. You know, when you subscribe to Dr. G's new YouTube channel, which is Dr. G's official.
No, Dr. G is official.
Yeah, Dr. G is official. Well, Dr. G's, I see. Dr. G is official. YouTube requires 1,000 subscribers in order for the channel to go live. So make sure that you just subscribe for Dr. G's new YouTube channel. Dr. G is official. And so the YouTube requires 1,000 subscribers minimally in order for the channel to go live. So click the link posted in the chat. So the link will be posted in the chat. Or
just do a search.
Or do a search and you'll find the link. Because again, one of the things that she's trying to do is so that we can be more open with you in a lot of subject matter that concerns helping us all help each other. And because they have not close down expurgatorius and prohibitorum. It just comes in the form of demonetization or closing people's channels, and censorship. That's still expurgatorius and prohibitorum. And so this new channel that she's setting up is to open up a little broader
for metaphysical,
for everything.
all of that. Yeah, yes. More of a, it's going to do.
And so that some things can be discussed more openly without you being locked out.
Well, they're still got the same block, but we're gonna leave this stuff over here, and this channel is not going away.
Yes.
So just let them know this channel is not going away. We appreciate each and every one.
And all of you who have been supportive of the House of Reawakening Minds, we can't get to all of you, but you're all appreciated. And one time I would like to also, while we're going through this, for you to get the appellations of people who've been helping, so that we can at least mention their noms in, the first one anyway, to credit you, to let you know that we appreciate your aids and your support, etc. That is not gone unnoticed.
And the question was, when were we going to do have live classes? And I did respond early on to one individual's question, but just to put it out there, I would think hopefully by the summer we will go to make one live session, and we'll do our
physical house.
One at the physical house. It won't be twice a month, but we'll try to get one in. But we will announce that.
Yeah.
We will announce that, because I know a lot of you who would
as certain aspects of the bio King Alfred Rex 84 war operations is winding down a little bit, which will be probably by astrological numerical calculation around Augustus, which is part of the planned term, that much of the work of the indictments will be so well on their way that the dark priesthood will be detoothed, kind of like, and that some of the expurgatorius and prohibitorum operations will be lifted off of humanity. And so some things will be able to be spoken of according to the Amendment 1 for the Constitution under the Republic will be exercised. And at that point, we will notify you.
Got like 3 minutes, but we appreciate everyone for your comments and your contributions, and we thank you for your camaraderie in the chat. Those of you who are respectful of the chat and respectful of each other, makes it go smooth. That's what we appreciate. We totally appreciate that. And for those of you, a couple of you who want to assist, if you can email me at House of Reawakening Minds at gmail.com. You can find that. I think we have it listed somewhere. We can talk about it, because moderators probably would help us tremendously, because my eyes don't see everything.
And keep in mind, one of the keys to now, with the activation of the superliminal mind, one of the keys is love ye one another. Keep that in mind. In spite of the opposition that's sure to be there. That's a tool.
So anyone? Okay. Well, okay. She said the link he searched, he thinks they may be shadow blocking. I don't know. I know when
they always do.
If you go to YouTube and you type in Dr. G is official, it'll come up with Darius is official, and then do you mean Darius, and then underneath, no, you mean Dr. T. If you click on that, and it takes you there. Because I think there's about 500 subscribers, and I appreciate each and every one of you who has done that. Appreciate it to the utmost. I'm ready to get this channel kicking and operative and doing what we need to do. But again, we thank you. I'll find a way to make it easier to locate. Last Elijah Porter is on there sheet for the knowledge and peace. Yeah, they be hating enterprise for nationals. All right. As I said, there will be no class tomorrow, but we didn't want to completely cancel it, and so we were grateful to be able to do it tonight. And we will see you. I will see you on Tuesday. For those of you,
we had to make adjustments for work schedules.
Right. For those of you who tune in to Office Hours with Dr. G, that will be Tuesday night at 8 p.m. right here on the same channel. Hopefully you will log in. It's going to be I think it's going to be a very informative interview for anybody who needs healing and emotional healing. This is going to be something I think that you don't want to miss. And we're going to have a wonderful person on who has used healing for themselves and is now able to provide that same kind of assistance to others. So want to tune into that on Tuesday. And then will you be coming back the following week or no?
Yes.
You will be?
I think, yeah. The first and the third.
Okay. So, and then Gracie will be back. If it's the first, I don't think it's the first. I don't think
third.
Yeah, there is no Friday